Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Vasquez. Thank you for meeting with me today to go over your daughter Tanya's results, assessment results. So, just so you know, we're going to explain these results in a very simple and everyday language. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Stop me and let me know. But I'm going to go step by step so everything is clear. Okay. So, one of the first tests we did for Tanya was cognitive testing, which is overall thinking skill. So the first thing we looked at was her overall thinking and learning ability. Her full scale IQ was a 78, which falls in between about the seventh percentile. Now, throughout the test, I'm going to be using the word percentile. And if you don't know what the word percentile means, it just means that how she scored compared to other kids her age. Um, so the lower the score mainly means comes from two areas that were really challenging for her. Uh, which was the understanding the language and holding the information in her mind while she works. But when we look at the nonverbal parts of the test, things that don't really rely on talking, she scored much higher. Her nonverbal index was a 90, which is the 25th percentile, and that is an average range, so she shows stronger thinking skills when language isn't the main part of the task. Okay, so the next assessment we did was academic achievement, which is the reading and the math and writing. Next, we looked at her academic skills. Her scores in the reading and math and writing were pretty low. She did score 62 on brief achievement, 62 on academic skills, and a 65 on academic applications. Those scores lined up with the age range around 4 years to 8 months to 5 years to 2 months, which tells us she needs a lot of support with basic academics. Now, this just doesn't mean she can't learn. It just means that she needs instructions that fit her best on what she learns. So the next assessment we did was a visual processing, which we call it the DTVP3 test. We also looked at her visual processing skills. Her motor reduced visual perception score was a 56, which is below the first percentile. That's considered very, very low. And the subjects, she scored in the 9th percentile for figured ground, but below the first percentile, in visual closure and form consistency. This tells us that she struggles to identify shapes and notice visual details or recognize things when part of the image that is missing. These skills affect reading, copying from the board, and other classroom tasks. Also, one of the things we did was also an adaptive behaviors survey. We did send that to your wife. We did complete the form. Um, we did go over her overall score, which was a 72, which is the third percentile in the borderline range. Her conceptual skills, things like communication and basic academics, was very low. Her practical skills like hygiene, safety, and using the community were also very low. But her social skills came out in the average range with a score of a 98, which is a strength of her. Now, we did go over behavior data, which was the self injury episodes that y'all have explained. We also looked closely at the self-injury behaviors you mentioned, mainly, mostly the biting herself, hitting her head. So we tracked these behaviors and did some observations from October 20th to October 25th, and it's a clear pattern that showed up. Almost every episode happened when she felt interrupted, talked over, or asked to repeat herself. For example, when another student answered for her, she did cut her off, and she often reacted by biting herself or hitting her head. These episodes lasted anywhere between about 8 minutes to, I would say, about 36 minutes, more or less, average, with the longest happening in the art class. So we all know that the art class is not her favorite classroom. There's an issue there. That's something I can find out. But overall, the data shows that communication frustration is the main trigger. So supporting her and communication and giving her time to express herself will be important for reducing these behaviors. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Vasquez, to summarize everything overall, she learns best with simplified language and visual supports and extra time to respond. So she has challenges in academics and visual processing, but also has strengths, and especially in social situations and nonverbal thinking skills. All this information helps us build the best plan for her so she can feel successful in school. And if you have any questions, I'm hoping to go over anything that you didn't understand. Like I said, everything that we did here is going to best help her with the IEP that's going to be developed for her. I think she will be successful but with the right supports. Thank you.